Hi, everybody. Welcome in. I'm back. I know you guys missed me from last week, but I am back. Thanks to my mom for hosting it. I'm still not 100%, but I'm back. So, I'm going to let some of you guys jump on here, and then we're going to get our guest up in here, and we're going to chit chat a little bit and see what he's up to. So, let's get some of these viewers up in here. And hi, Chris. Hi. Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Mm-mm.
Oh boy.
Nope.
No? Still? That's weird. Can you hear me now?
Nope.
Weird, we just tried this and it worked. Not sure what's happening. Well, guys, let's see what's happening here. Because he says he can't hear me. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
There we go. I'm not sure what was happening there, but we are back.
Yeah, I told you I'm kind of retarded when it comes to this stuff.
It's okay. Technology. Gotta love it.
Oh yeah, you give me an engine and I'll rebuild it in my sleep. But
Understand that. Welcome in, everybody. As you see, we have a special guest with us. We have Mr. Chris Graesner with us. I'm sure you guys have seen him at plenty of races. He is the man, the myth, the legend. That's what we tend to call him. Chris, tell us a little bit about you and what we typically see you doing.
well, I go around with Jimmy Dean. I help him at his events. I'm the main official for making sure the clocks run right, amongst other people that help. Uh, Whatever my time says is final. Uh, there's a lot to it. My main key safety. I I take a very big heart into helping the racers. I'll do what I can. We do a lot for the loop, hard and missy. At the loop too, we do help with Cody Wayne and his events. And other than that, I mean, I just enjoy doing it.
Love that. So, how did you kind of get involved in this side of things? Because I know that you love racing. So, how did you kind of, I know you gave up racing a little bit to take over doing this.
Well, it wasn't that it was I give it up. I still have it in my heart. I still want to do it. But 2.5 years ago, I got sick and got diagnosed with Hashimoto's. So it's a very rare for a man to get Hashimoto's, and it wears me out to the point where my body shuts down. And every time I try and do it, I end up in the hospital. So they haven't been able to get me straightened out with medicine yet. So I talked to Kathy and told her, that I just want to wait. I need to get healthy because if I'm not healthy, then I can't race. And if
Um,
I, get in trouble to the point where I'm too sick, I'm not doing no justice to anybody.
yeah. Nope.
So my main thing is, to get all my health straightened back up. I know I look good out there, trying to help people out, but little do they know, I crash after all the races because my system just ain't keeping up with my body. But my
Nope.
plan is, if everything works out right, I'm starting to get a lot better on getting my system straightened out. So my plan is to eventually get back out there and start racing again.
Awesome. I love that. So, the first race you ever worked, was it good? Was it bad? Were you nervous?
Well, I started off in Texas as I was racing motocross, and I was doing stupid stuff, thinking I was 12 years old. got hurt. So Kathy pointed the finger at me and told me no more. So I was real good friends with the track people there, and the flagger and the head official that was there, Spring Valley Motocross, said that they asked me if I wanted to do it. So I started actually doing it in Texas. I want to say 11 years ago, and we ended up moving to Missouri, and me and Kathy drove all the way from Missouri all the way down to Texas every time they had a race because I just had the passion for it. I loved being around everybody. I loved helping people out. My kids lived down there. So
You
then
know,
I
I
come
got a
back up
message
here.
from your kids today.
What's that?
I got a message from your kids today.
Which one?
Um, Not sure, but they wanted to know where they could watch you because they miss you. So I did get a message today from them. So they're probably on here.
That would be my oldest son and my youngest son.
Okay.
Yeah, Taylor and Trevor.
Yeah. I'll say, yeah, I got a message today from them.
Yeah. But no, we started off and then we started racing here. Uh, we raced a lot of IMCA dirt tracks. Then when we moved up here, I was still racing arena cross, and I decided to pull out of it because my boss didn't want me to do it no more because I started taking over, helping run the shop, and it's just a big thing for me, to take over a shop and start helping him run it and learn the new skills of it. So we decided, Kathy said that, there's not enough bubble wrap in the world to wrap me from getting hurt. So, we decided to get a razor, and I built my razor up, and that's when we started doing the long jump, racing. And I mean, the passion's there. I love it. I mean, the racing is great, but being around the people and I'm a firm believer I don't have friends, I have family.
That's right.
You know,
100%.
family takes care of you, and they'll help you through thick and thin, whether it's small or big. Friends, sometimes they're friends just to be there.
Yeah. Nope.
And I don't try to be mean to people, but family will help you out, whether they're your true blood or not. They'll help you out and they'll walk you through it and they'll encourage you to do things that you don't want to do, or that you can do that they know you can do.
Absolutely. So a lot of people probably kind of just see you as, the guy with, I wouldn't say necessarily the flags, but kind of, I mean, the timer, you do the hand gesture to go. Um, but I don't think they realize how important that is. So kind of tell us a little bit about how important that can be.
Well, the importance of it, my first thing for me is safety. I'm huge on safety. I've seen too many accidents happen. I was a firefighter for 13 years and seen scary stuff that could have been prevented. And I'd rather piss people off because I tell them they can't race because of a chin strap that ain't tightened or a seat belt that's not tightened. I'd rather them be mad at me and be able to see them race again than to just let them go and get hurt because then I have to live with that on my conscience. So my main thing is I want to make sure that the drivers are safe. 99% of them respect me for that. But
I
before
know
I
I
even let
do.
them, before I even let them go, I check that out. Whether it's kid, adult. I've had some adults that I told them you're not going until you put your seat, till your harness on. And they'll tell me, well, I'm not going to go hard. Well, I'm sorry, hate me later, but you're not
It takes
going.
one little accident. I mean, I was just on a trail and hit a root in the ground and ended up with 4 stitches in my forehead. Like, because I had my lap belt on and I wasn't strapped in on the top. And I was like, oh, I'm just trail riding. I had one of the kids with me. Like, it's not going to be a big deal. And next thing I know, we ended up at the hospital and I had 4 stitches put in my forehead. It doesn't take
Yeah,
much.
oh, and it's scary. People don't understand. They always use that phrase. Well, it can't happen to me. It can. It really can.
Absolutely.
And as long as I am doing it, and I've talked with Jimmy Dean on it, and I've talked with Hardin and Missy, and I'm very anal about it. I'd rather you be mad at me and me be able to see you race again than you get mad, something happens, then I got to live with it on my conscience that I didn't do what I was supposed to do or what they brought me in to do.
Absolutely.
So,
Jet says, hey. Hey, Jet.
hey, what's going on?
I heard you're going to have a nice official at your races coming up. I heard Mr. Chris is going to be there.
Yeah, I was very honored for him to ask.
So, how do you communicate with the other people on the race track as far as, you know, you do a lot of the events with the hill climbs and that, so there's a lot of areas that have to be covered as far as people that are involved with helping.
Yeah, I mean, there's not just me that does it. I mean, there's Chaz, Tanner, the Salisbury's, Misty, all of them. I mean, they're super great people, and they help me out more than anybody knows. But I mean, it's all what I would call a family, environment as far as helping each other. So
Absolutely.
as far as that, I mean, it is a lot. It is a lot because when you come to the timing, sometimes the timers don't work, and sometimes they do. And 99% of the time, and I've proven it to several different people, that question my timing, that I'm within almost, one to two thousandths of a second off of what the actual timer would be. So if they're really going to worry about that, I mean, I haven't had nobody complain about it, but you know that's how it works, and it takes a lot to do it.
And I know that, some of them races when it comes down to you having the timer and them close calls you have to call, I know that that's not easy for you, I'm sure. I know you probably get them people that are, hot headed, and I can only imagine.
Well, to be honest, I have not had one person be hot-headed with me other than uh he was kind of mad at me because I made him, he didn't want to put his shoulder harnesses on. He just wanted to wear his lap belt.
Yeah, no.
And other than that, I really haven't had nobody at Jimmy Dean's events at all give me no problem. I mean, everybody that comes and races, they're super awesome people.
Absolutely. And I just, I come to watch all those because I don't do much of that hill stuff. But like just being there, and getting to talk to everybody there, it's definitely a huge family at every one of his events.
Oh, absolutely. And Johnny Gibbs, love him to death. He steals the Pro R and everything while I'm doing this. And then he's like, well, if you want to drive the buggy, go take my rock bouncer. And I'm like, nah, I don't know. Nah. But yeah,
No.
I mean, for the most part, I mean, we've got a great group of racers with us, and pretty much, all of them have been, coming back to every race that Jimmy's put on, and we're gaining more and more people.
Jimmy puts on some great events.
So
I'm actually going to be having Jimmy on in April. So
awesome.
I'm excited. We're going to talk about his events and some things like that. And I told him I put out that post on who people wanted to see. So you were one of them, Jimmy Dean. There was quite a few other ones I had, so I made sure I got them on the schedule.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited for that. So as far as safety goes, when you're watching a race, what are the main things you pay attention to as far as safety?
So I always walk around and I check buggies out and I look at cages. I look at the bolts mainly to make sure there ain't no broken bolts or missing bolts in the cages. You know, a lot of people don't see me do it, but I do. And if I see something that is not right, I go up and I talk to them and tell them, hey, we need to get this fixed, not for me, but for you. And 99% of them, like I said, they tell me, oh man, I missed that. Thank you. I've never had one person give me any problems about it. So, But yeah, my main thing, I thrive on safety. Safety, safety, safety. If you don't have safety, then you have people starting to get hurt. And then, then there's a liability, and then people want to start pointing fingers. And like I said, I'd rather have somebody
Yeah.
mad at me and be able to see them, the next race than not be able to see them.
And let me tell you guys, when Chris harnesses you in, you ain't moving. Because I went to the loop to race and my mom and dad weren't there. So Chris was in charge of me. And let me tell you, I couldn't move in that thing.
Well, your mama kind of called me and told me, Chris, you're responsible for her. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to have her coming after me.
Yeah, you don't want her coming after you, that's for sure.
No, angry mamas just don't, I can handle my own, but an angry mama, no,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
So, before the races, do you typically walk the track, check everything out?
I mean, that's a good question. As far as walking the track, I did a couple of the tracks, but as far as like the big ones where they're like at Texplex, I don't walk them because it takes more energy out of me and it makes it worse for me to go throughout the day because it wears me out.
No,
But
I understand.
Jimmy and Chaz and all them, they pretty much, they're the eyes and
I'll say I
watch,
know that they're there, usually like a couple days before, checking everything out, having I know that like the last one at Texplex, I know that the day before that one little girl had ran it, I think, kind of to make sure, everything was good. And that's always good because you don't get that a lot of times. Some of them, you get to the race and like, oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I am,
I guess we'll all find out for ourselves.
yeah, and I'm super stoked to, we're picking up more and more of these younger drivers, and it's so awesome to see them out there. And some of these younger drivers just
They're
they
impressive.
care, they're impressive, and I mean, what do? You can't say nothing. The kids can wheel. I mean, they got
Absolutely.
great parents helping them out, and they got people that'll talk with them. But I think it's the most amazing thing to have these kids because if we leave kids out, they're our future.
Yes, 100%. That's the next generation. We
So,
got Jet, phenomenal driver. I just had on Hunter Showtime Shane, the Northington brother and sisters. Like, that's a that's a good group coming up.
oh, absolutely. I mean, Hunter Shane, Jet. I mean, Jet just won the Ultra Four. Hunter Shane's getting his stuff all brand new. Noah Butler just won the NRRA in his division. I mean, these kids are coming up so fast, and I think it's amazing. And some of these adults better start watching out.
I agree. Well, y'all better start watching out because I'm coming with my turbo now.
Oh yeah. Uh oh. Uh
I'm
oh.
just kidding. I'm still getting used to it, but I am
You went
super
from
excited.
Converse to Nikes.
I am super excited. Chris decided one day to let me drag race his buggy, and since then, I've been on the hunt.
Yeah, I was talking with Kathy the other day, and I was like, I said I missed that buggy, but I said, there was only one person that I ever let race that buggy, and I was like, that was Kiera, and she's like, yeah, that's right, she's the only one that ever raced that thing.
Yep. Yeah, that was down at Fiddler's on the drag
Yep,
strip.
yep,
Yep.
that was at Fiddler's.
Yeah. I had a blast in it, though. That was so fun. That
Oh yeah, I mean,
was so fun.
yeah, there's so much that you can do with these buggies. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, people got a lot of money in them, that's for sure.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
me, like I like to compete, but I like to have fun. I mean, if I win or I lose, I really don't care.
Well, a long time ago, I was like the Ricky Bobby story. I wanted to go fast. I wanted to win, And now it's like, hey, if I could beat this guy that literally has been doing this for a long time and this is my first race, or I can even get on a podium, I'm stoked. I
Yeah.
don't care if I got first, second, or, whatever. That's just how I've been. Yeah, everybody wants to win, but, it takes passion and heart to do it. And, you know, I have the passion and heart. I just don't have the health yet.
Yep. Nope. I 100% get that. What advice would you give to new racers about keeping themselves and others safe?
I didn't hear you say that again.
What advice would you give new racers about keeping themselves and others safe?
Well, I had an old guy that always that taught me, and he always said, "Race people the way that you want to be raced." If you want to run dirty, you're going to get treated dirty. So it's the same thing as talking to people. You give respect, you get respect.
Absolutely.
So, and a
You
lot of
know,
these kids, I haven't met any of them that has raced with us that had a bad attitude or was a smart aleck or anything like that. So that tells you that the parents that have the kids that race with us are doing a hell of a job. And I applaud them because our world is it's sad that everybody wants to blame the parents. So I don't know. I really do believe it all starts with parenting, and all our racers that we have amazing parents. So
absolutely.
that's why they do what they do.
100%. And that's like how I've always been, I'm positive. Like, if I lose, I go tell the person that won, hey, great job. Let's do it again. Or whoever it is. Like, even if they had a bad day or they had a bad race, I still go up to them and I'm like, hey, good job. Now you know what you can improve on. That's how I.
Oh,
That's how I.
absolutely.
That's what I tell myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I may get backlash on this, but you want my honest opinion? I want to lose because I lost fair and square. And there's too many races that are going on that you lose because of a buddy is running a race.
Mhm.
Shit happens as far as that. What do? You make yourself a better driver and figure a way of beating them on that.
Yep. Absolutely. Nope. I 100% agree with that.
And I was questioned several times about my timing, and I tell every single one of them, that question me, and I tell them, I said, if you want my spew, I'll tell you. I don't care if you're Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. If she's faster than you, she won. I don't care if you got money or not. I
Yep.
don't care if you've been doing this for 50 years. If she was faster, that's the time she gets. I don't hold friends or anything when it comes to timing. It's plain and simple. Whatever time they get, they get.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's why I've always, when you are doing these races, I always love it because Chris is fair. Chris is not gonna be fair. And if it's close enough and they can't call it, Chris is gonna make you rerun it.
Yeah, and to be honest, we've only had that happen one time, and that was because the timer failed and the path that I was running, people had blocked, and I tripped over a buggy and I accidentally hit the time. I'm human, I make mistakes. But Jimmy, he's got pretty good now. He's shortened up my running distance so I don't have to run, 10 miles to get to the finish line.
Nope.
So,
Yeah, you're pretty much right there now.
yeah, and like we had an episode, just I don't know, just I want everybody to be fair. Win the race because you put your heart and soul in it. Don't win it because you think you got money. And that's one thing, like I said again, with Jimmy Dean's racing, I haven't seen a single person bitch or moan or complain about it.
Yeah. Nope. I 100% agree with that. So we're gonna wrap things up a little bit here. So obviously you have the best seat in the house. What's one moment you'll never forget?
Well, I'd have to say it was with Johnny Gibbs. It
That
was
man's
at
crazy.
oh, I love him to death.
He
It's
doesn't
great.
care.
It was great. So it was my 50th birthday. You know, they all threw me a surprise birthday at Mid America, you know, there in Jay, Oklahoma. And I found out, you know, it was Johnny's birthday the next day. So I bought him a bucket of Fireball. And it was the best thing ever. I mean, these guys were getting so crazy, lighting bottle rockets out of their butt cheeks. And I mean, they were hammered. And the next morning, Johnny, he's like, Chris, he's like, our birthdays have to be further away. He's like, we can't do this close to each other like this.
I love that.
But
So
I
has
mean, I
there,
have many memories with these, you know, these races.
have you had any that were like crazy? One of the craziest memories? As far as wrecks or anything go?
Yeah, they're all. I mean, everything that happens is a memory to me. I really don't choose no favorites. You know, my main thing is like I said, you know, until I see if there's a wreck, I'm gonna be the first one in there.
And you absolutely are every time.
And I'm not going to leave that buggy until I know they're safe, because that's what my job position is, and that's what I feel. I start them and I finish them, and when they're finished and they're out, and I know they're good, then I know I'm successful on that.
And I will say that I definitely saw that in action at Jimmy Dean's event at Texplex.
Yeah, I felt
Mhm.
bad for Hunter. You know, when he caught on fire, you know, I was trying to get him out, and I don't know if I ended up twisting his nipple or what, but I grabbed him by his chest and I yanked him out of that. And
Yeah, you
I,
know, he was talking to us about that. He
yeah,
told us about that on here. My computer's dying. I gotta plug it in.
but yeah, he's another great kid. I love his, you know, his charisma. You know, Hunter. I mean, Jet. All our kids that we have that race with us are
We
just
got a great group, that's for sure.
yeah, evident. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome kids. So do you have anybody you want to thank, supporters? I know you have an amazing supporter that's always with you. Love her to death.
Yeah, Kathy. You know, she does everything. You know, she don't know how to say no, and she started learning to say no. So it's like, you know, you tell a kid he can't have a piece of candy, you know, and I throw a fit. Before you know it, you know, I have a whole bag of candy with her. So it's like, you know, it starts off with her, but you know, I mean, Jimmy Dean, you know, he's helped me out so much, you know. Charlie Griffith with UTVtoys.com.
Team UTV Toys, that's right.
I mean, he does so much for people, you know, more than what people actually see. He does. Uh, I mean, there's so many of them.
So let's talk about where we're gonna be this weekend. How about that?
Yeah,
Here is the
we're gonna
flyer.
be at the Loop.
We're gonna
Gonna
be
be
at
at
Loop 2. Give them
yep.
some info on it.
Cody Wayne's putting on a woods race. It's kind of a tracks going through some woods. We were out there. I want to say a week or so ago. Me and my middle son Skylar, and that track looks pretty wild. And it's a fun track. I mean,
So
there's
it
going to be
it is knockout style. Is it pretty wide, Chris? I couldn't really tell on them videos. I was wondering because I know they're gonna run them side by side
so
at takeoff.
you're gonna start off, and then it turns into, I want to say it's like a 2.5 lane.
Okay.
So you got pretty good room for, you know, a couple buggies, but we're gonna be watching. I mean, Cody's not gonna let nobody do a bunch of dirty racing.
Yeah. No, I
You
just didn't
know,
know because I've been thinking about doing it, but I don't know about racing next to people. See, I'm one of those where I don't like to race dirty, so even if I bump into you, I feel terrible. Like
Oh yeah.
that's just how I've been. I raced a race at Sullivan, and it was like that. And there was this really bad corner, and I mean, all of us girls, we just piled up right there on that corner, and I could have went around them, but I did not want to shove them into the concrete wall. I felt so bad. So,
Oh yeah.
all I hear is my mom and dad. They're like, "You could have got around him. You could have got around him." I'm like, "But I couldn't shove him into the wall." And of course, it was all of us females, and some of them had never raced. And I was like, "I'm not scaring the crap out of these girls and not making them ever want to race again." Like,
Yeah. I mean, accidents happen, but I mean, we couldn't do any of this racing if it wasn't, for the park owners. Hardin and Missy, they give us this great park to run. They do different events. Cody Wayne puts on different events. I mean, the track that everybody's going to be racing on, Scott Hendricks with Superior Excavating.
he
And
builds all them tracks out there, and he does a
yeah,
dang good
and
job at it.
Glenn, I mean, you got to be good at it for him to get, Lucas Oil Speedway to put the loop on their circuit of racing and allow 3 races. I think it's 2 or 3 races there for the
Yep,
Lucas Oil race series. I mean, the guy's just phenomenal. Super nice guy.
awesome.
But
Well,
yeah, that's going on March 13th and the 14th.
that's where
There's going to be
we'll be
Whiskey
this
Biz is
weekend.
going to be there. UTVtoys.com, CW Motorsports, John Whaley, the Lost Riders, the Chicken Man himself,
There will
you
be a
know.
lot of people there. It's going to be a great event. I'll be there myself. I'm bringing out the new buggy, but I'm not racing it. I'm not allowed to race it until I have a cage.
Yeah,
My
there's
parents don't
there's a
trust me
lot
in
you got
bubble
to
wrap.
do. Yeah, yeah, you definitely got to have a cage.
I am, however, I'm bringing both, so I plan on racing the purple one. We'll see when I get there, but as of right now, that's the plan. So I will be there. The family will be there. Um, a lot of us are coming down, so super excited. Mom says I need to get on that scavenger hunt and find that Whaley cage and win that.
Yeah.
Um, other than that, for those of you guys that want to kind of know my schedule or what's coming up, I know that Shane Washburn's hosting this same weekend. They're having an event at the Ridge Off Road Park. The 13th through 14th is the Loop. The April 16th through 19th at Pikes Off Road Park is Mega Mud Fest. May 14th through 17th at Carter's Off Road is Shane Washburn's event. And then the Mud Memorial Day event at Pikes is going to be the 21st to the 25th. And then Father's Day weekend is Jimmy Dean's at Lotto. And then July 2nd through 4th is Crashapalooza 6.0 at the Loop 2. I will be hosting on the 2nd, that Thursday, the women's event races. So make sure that if you guys can get there, I'm also going to do a couple of kids' races. I talked with Dirt Dudes. He's super excited for it. So we originally planned on doing it Friday, but with as many events as he's doing, we had to kind of push it back. So it is going to be on Thursday now. For those of you that are going to be there, hopefully you guys get all them women out there, them kids out there. We're going to do some barrels and some drags. Chris, if you're going to be there, I'm probably going to put you to work.
Hey, I'll do anything I can. So I
Perfect.
tell everybody that. I mean, I've offered my buggy for people that broke down. I've offered, my Pro R for somebody to race. That big knockout race that Cody Wayne put on last year. I told Whiskey Biz the buggy was broke. I told him, hell, I got a Turbo R. Take it, run it.
Yeah,
So I'll help anybody out.
you absolutely will. And we love you guys to death. I mean, you've been there since day one with me. You've always pushed me. You've always made sure I was safe. And you always told me if I was going to do something dumb, not to do it. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
usually, if I'm not confident in myself, I always have somebody giving me a pep talk, and I end up doing it and being safe with it. I
Yeah,
just
my
like having
dad.
that drive time and being behind the wheel and
Oh, absolutely.
learning.
My dad always said, always take the advice of an elder person because they know they've already done the stupid stuff. They know the consequences and what can happen.
Absolutely.
And if anybody that just said, "Oh yeah, go ahead and do it," they don't give two shits about you.
Yep. 100%. Hey, Anthony. Welcome in. Well, Chris, I am going to wrap this up and I will see you Friday.
Yep.
I think
Me
we're,
and Kathy will be there probably late Friday, probably about 6:30, 7ish.
yeah, I think we're leaving after work on Friday. So we probably,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
even know if we're going to the park Friday night. I'm hoping we do, but if not, I'll be there first thing Saturday morning for sure. Um, like I said, there's quite a few of us coming down. So I will see you then, and I will see everybody else next Tuesday. We are having the wives on here. We're gonna have, well, I guess wife and mom. We're gonna have my mom on here, Jamie Hayes' wife Emily, and Cece Carmen's gonna be on here, and they're gonna kind of talk about the backside and how they deal with the racing scene because it's not always easy. I'll tell you that. So
that's too many women on one podcast. I don't know about that.
well, I tried getting them each to do it, and they're like, "Oh no, I'd feel more comfortable if we were all in there." And I was like, "Oh man, all right. I don't know if I can get all you guys on here together, but we'll see how it goes."
Yeah,
So,
you guys will do great.
looking forward to that. That's gonna be next Tuesday, and then I believe I'm gonna take a break off from it because I'm going on vacation. So, and then once I start back up, I'm thinking about doing every other Tuesday just because every Tuesday sometimes is a lot, and I'm getting into racing season. So there's a lot I have to do. But I appreciate everyone tuning in, and thank you, Chris, for being here. And I will see you this weekend.
Awesome. We will see you.
See you guys.
See ya.